All right, welcome to another episode of Something for the People. This is your boy B Hunt, aka the Silent Prophet, along with my co-host Big Country.
What's good, people?
Top notch. We're gonna jump right into it. As we always do. So, is it okay to keep secrets from your partner?
Depending on the secrets, I would say yes.
All right.
I know there's always someone that will say, no, you should never keep secrets. But I know my grandmother and my mother always told me, some things you just take to the grave. Some things is between you and God. And I agree with that. There's some things that you know is going to wreck everything. I don't believe you should just randomly hide things from your spouse, but there's certain things I do believe. I'm not about to destroy something like, okay, for example, if, let's say, okay, easy, simple way. Do I look fat in these jeans? At some point in time, if your wife was pregnant, because we both have kids.
That's true.
She looked fat. There was no, but if you just came right out and told her she looked fat or she looked bad or today wasn't your day, it's going to tear her down. Now you have to deal with the ramifications of tearing her down.
My question to that would be, is it disrespect or rude or insensitive for her to ask this question and she knows the answer for herself?
But you know she knows the answer.
But she just wants you to, she want to force you to lie for her comfort.
She wants you to make her feel better. Maybe she doesn't feel good or beautiful at this point in time. And I know what you look like on a regular basis. At this moment, at this point in time, yeah, okay, you a little, but you have a child growing. So yeah, I would rather you, like, for example, I want my wife to lie to me about certain things like, oh, baby, if I'm just not where I need to be, like financially, hey, you're the provider of this house. I believe in you. If my wife making way more money than me and all that kind of stuff.
Is that a lie though? Because if you are someone who brings home your finances to provide for your home,
but you know the actual provider isn't the one that makes the less money, the one that makes more money, and the one that sacrifices
more. What I'm saying, you can be a provider. You're not the sole provider. Like, you're not the primary provider, but you're still a provider because you're giving what you can. And she understands that I'm willing to sacrifice whatever I got to the success of the family.
That goes to that point. Let's say, because at one point in time, both our wives made more than us.
Yeah.
So if your wife, knowing your wife made way more than you at that point in time,
mm-hmm.
and she was like, no, technically I'm the provider. That would do something to you.
No.
It would make it be like, oh.
And one, I'm sure in both our circumstances, though my wife made more than me, I still shelled out more of the financial load.
Yeah, true.
So it's like, if you're going to use your money to do what you do as far as the fun or whatever, or if you saying I'm investing, whatever your reason may be, and I'm not saying that in order to be like pessimistic or not, you got your whole thing and you having your fun habit, right? But what I am saying is this. If I make less than you, but I'm willing to invest 100% of my funds to the success, effort-wise, then I still consider myself the sole provider in that household. And in your case, same way. yeah, you might have brought home less, but you were willing to sacrifice more of it just to see your family succeed. Mm-hmm. So, like, she didn't lie. She told the truth. Because effort more is something that I'm providing. But when we go back to the previous example you gave, the overweight thing, it's like, hey, one, we both know that you're pregnant. So, yeah. You pregnant, you got some weight because you got a whole nother being growing in you. So, for you to ask me this, knowing those circumstances, it's like, if you just doing that, if you got to put me on the chopping block or put me under pressure to give you either the right answer or the wrong answer or the quiz, I feel like that's disrespectful in some way. It's like, why would you do it?
Like another example, you lied to your wife.
Yeah.
You hid things from your wife. Mm-hmm. We all have. Like, for example, for a lot of dudes, hey, I don't want to tell them my number. Why? Right. Because it's not going to do nothing for you.
It's not, but I don't consider that lying. I'm like,
yeah, if I ask you and like hiding things, because remember, it wasn't lying. It didn't say lie. Is it wrong to hide things? Yeah, keep secrets. So, hey, maybe I don't want to tell you my number because I don't want you already trying to judge me about it. Right. I don't want to worry about how you're going to feel. Oh, whether you're number 5 or number 500.
So when it comes, for me anyway, when it comes to the withholding of number, it ain't got nothing, like, personally, it's not a shame thing for me. Like, most people, if you ask Napoleon, how many places did you come? You ask Alexander the Great, how many things have you conquered? He gonna just tell you, because it's like, but the stigma around it is different. So if I show up and I tell you, oh, I have this high number, and then it's the associations you put on yourself based on that.
Yeah.
Right? So you think that you got to compete with all those women prior to you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you neglect the fact that out of all those women who came before you, I stopped at you.
Agree.
Right? But on the other hand, no matter, I'm not going to say no matter, typically, the one your wife chose first that she could not get for whatever reason, the main reason that she not with that person is because she couldn't change that person. But in your case, it's not, I didn't seek to change you. I wasn't seeking to change the women that I dealt with prior to you. She either was it or she wasn't it. It's not, I'm not trying to make you better. I'm not trying, you need to come at a certain level, you need to be there. So I feel like my wife match that level. For my wife, on the other hand, it's just that, I tried to change him. I tried to make, because he got everything except for that one thing. And that one thing is something I couldn't pull out of him. I couldn't make him do. And so, in essence, indirectly, there was a preference for that guy. It's just, in reality, I'm better, but in her mind, there's going to be some guy from her past. She got a high number. There's a higher probability that there's a guy from her past that she's like, he was the better of the two. I just couldn't control him in any way. So it's no point to have him.
I mean, that's true. I'm a firm believer. I don't like just keeping secrets, but I know certain things are better left unsaid. Right. I'm not going to ask the question that I don't want to know the answer to.
The term you use that I use now, I'm not going to start a fire in my own home.
Yes.
I'm not going to start, I'm just not going to do it. So you're asking me questions, I'm not going to start a fire in my own house. So,
but you already know there'll be some people, even probably your wife, like, oh, well, obviously we shouldn't have secrets between us.
That's not
obviously. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. Any healthy relationship has to be based on trust, but no, hey, there's a line neither one of us need to go past.
That goes back to what you, first of all, this is just highlighting you going hard on the show. This is at this point, all I can do is go back to when Jeremy was going hard. It's not a fairy tale. Your marriage, your relationships, it's not a fairy tale. It's a real life. Mm-hmm. There are things that you could do in your marriage to mess them up. There's things that you could do in your friendships that can mess it up. It's not, I don't wish to achieve some unattainable standard to keep you happy. So there are some things I'm not going to tell you because I know they're so volatile to you or they're so damaging to your perception of you that I'm just going to withhold. I'm just going to keep that from you. It's the equivalent to the tree in the Garden of Eden. All these fruits can be eaten except for that one. Because once you know what comes from that tree, you'll never see what you do in here the same.
Yeah.
Effectively, you're going to come out of this one naked.
Just like even with dudes, I hate when dudes ask dumb questions, but I know there's someone, I always hear, I listen more than I talk. I talk a lot, but I listen way more. Mm-hmm. But I always hear women say, I don't know why he asked that dumb question. Am I the best you ever had? I don't give a, I don't need to know that. Any dude before me is an issue, so I don't care about no dude before me. If I ask you about it, hey, just don't, then tell me straight up, because I asked about it. If I don't ask about it, don't just volunteer to tell me nothing. Because you volunteering that information, I may not be able to handle it the way you expect me to handle it.
True statement. I'll be like, if you in there with your girl and you clapping cheeks, then I would prefer you ask her, is it good?
Yeah.
Like, just ask that, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know who she been with in her past. You don't know. And I'm not trying to say that to try to belittle. I'm being realistic.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
There'll be some dude that's like, oh, I'm this. You know you're not. But you won't believe that.
Yeah.
Then when you find out, oh, you weren't even in the ballpark, it's gonna mess your mind up.
But what you gotta fall back on is there's some female out there. If you got your numbers up, there's some female out there who he was the guy. Like I couldn't change him per se, so I couldn't have him. But when it came to that part or whatever part that you see glorification on, there's something like, oh no, he was the guy. I just couldn't. The other aspects, he's just a little flawed for me. But that one part, he's that one.
Yeah, that one dude, which I've been known to be that dude at certain points in my past. He just can't commit.
He can't commit.
He don't. He's just too into himself. I'm like, and it's true.
And like, going back to the secrets and telling truths and all that, in the future, we see now that, no, he can commit. Could he commit to you, though?
Yeah, that's the main question.
Could he commit to you? So, that's like if she asks, are you afraid of commitment? Well, every time you said no, you told the truth. But she got to read it properly.
Yeah.
You should have asked, do you see yourself committing to me? If you want the accurate answer, right?
Yeah,
because that's the truth, sir.
Well, the thing is like, I know a lot of people don't understand how men work. The dude you are is, hey, there's two categories. There's the girl that, hey, I may lust for, and the one that, hey, I see a future with.
I see.
Like, don't get me wrong, I could lust for the girl I see a future with,
right.
But the one I just lust for is just sex.
It's just sex.
It is not a commitment. Is, I think she's better than you in every way. No. Just right now, that's what I want, so that's what I'm going at.
How I see it is, every woman I dealt with in my past, I saw a lifestyle. There's some women I dealt with that I didn't see kids with. I saw a moment. Now, recreating that moment over and over and over again might have been fun, but I understood. I don't want to be here long term. Okay? Because I know she's not going to be able to sustain a family with me. She's not. The ideals, the values that I hold, I don't see her holding those with me.
I have my values, but then I know over here, hey, this is fun. That is all this is fun. So when a lot of ladies hear that, oh, well, the guys be liking the post of these type of girls, I'm like,
that's fun.
That's fun. That's all that is.
I want you, if you have any issue with what's being said right now, okay. Theme parks, would you say they fun?
Yeah.
Roller coasters for those who ride them. Funnel cakes for those who eat them. Junk food for those who consume them. Would you say that that's a good thing? Like,
is it healthy for you? No. Is it? I want it now. Yes.
Long term, if you ride roller coasters all the time, I don't care if you just roller coaster. Like, I just adore them. Eventually, you gonna throw up if you just stay.
Yeah.
If you just stay on the Titan all day, you gonna be like, "This was fun for the moment, bro." I didn't intend to have this roller coaster every day. Like that's what happens. The thrill for certain people, like, yeah, it's fun for right now. This is a momentary thing, but eventually, we all seek stability.
True.
It's just how it works. I enjoyed the club, but I enjoyed the club on the weekend.
Yeah.
Eventually, I got to the point where, hey, no. I can enjoy being at home every day. I can enjoy, hey, no, I'm at the house, I'm chilling. I enjoy that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But going to the club, constantly being shot at, worrying about getting in fights, like, the payoff ain't enough. I get danced on one time and I'm potentially putting my life in danger all night.
Yeah. And you know why? Because some people worried about the wrong things.
Exactly.
That's why I'm a firm believer. Some secrets are best. Keep your secrets to yourself. You know a secret you should know. If that's going to affect us and right now, yeah, it shouldn't be a secret.
And I get it. Some secrets, when it boils down to, a lot of it gonna come to the light anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is, B Hunt hearing something at 20 versus B Hunt hearing something at 35 is two different responses.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely true.
It's two, like, as time go on, if somebody, like, right now in my 30s and in my early 20s, if somebody is leaning and said, "Oh yeah, I cheated on you at 20," you left that day.
Yeah.
You cheat on me at 35, still you left that day. You cheated me at 90 and you told about something you did back in the 30s. I'm gonna be like, why you bring that up? Life is, for me at this point.
You could have just kept that.
You could have took that to the grave and had that conversation with God, baby. It's over. As far as I'm concerned, like, I'm not finna go out here and find a 20-year-old to go and try to no. The life is gone. I've enjoyed what I had. I got 2 amazing kids. I'm living.
Yeah.
That's 75. 35? No. I still got enough time to start this thing over. Don't you come at me with no foolishness like that. You better hold it.
That's the thing is like people start getting this, oh, I must confess. I must say these things. Certain things, again, yes, what's done in the dark will come to the light. Yeah. But you also got to remember, there is your relationship with your spouse, and your relationship with God. God sees everything. My spouse doesn't see everything.
No.
So why would I spark this matchup and be like, hey, house burned down? You know what's going to happen.
What's going to go down? You know you finna throw this out there and you ain't got no fire extinguisher. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
You just finna watch it burn. So that's how, when people be like, I always say, if I have to cheat on you, I gotta leave you first. But that's a moral thing. It's like, if I gotta do it, unfortunately, I gotta tell you prior, and then give you ample opportunity to try to avoid these outcomes. Because most of the time, be like, if I ain't having it this way, then I'm thinking about it. I don't want to be thinking about it. I need you to do. So if I gave you ample time to alter the actions that you did, and I did all, then I'm trying to throw that olive branch out.
Yeah.
If you don't take that olive branch or take heed to what I'm saying, then all right. By default, I feel like maybe we have reached that point where we need to separate and move on, so I can keep my moral construct righteous. Mm-hmm. You can still view me in the same light as a good dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Could the way the world perceives black people be adding unnecessary stress on black couples?
Well, I mean, I think that could be a big issue. And the reason why I say it would be a big issue is because now there's this idea of what's black and what everybody thinks is black, and how you should be black, how's black portrayed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you should just be a person.
That's it.
That's who you should be, is who you are. Yes, I am a black man. I live my life as a black man,
right.
But I don't have to pretend to be anything. I'm me. That's all I'm going to be. And a big issue that we have now is we'll keep pushing this narrative that, oh, black people do this, these people do this, those people do that. Like, I love music, all music. A lot of black people are like, oh, you listen to country? What's wrong with country? Oh, you listen to rock? What's wrong with rock?
I feel like part of that goes back to people's want to control everything. Like everybody wants to put people in a box. You want to put the people you know in a box so you can try to like determine their next move. You want to add a level of predictability to the people.
Yeah.
So by them saying, oh, country music is for white people, it's saying, no, if you black, you shouldn't be listening to that. Otherwise, you're going to be the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
You couldn't possibly find country artists who make quality music that you want to listen to because you are too into a rap scene. That's the only thing you know. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, the reason I don't really prefer people to give me positive comments and or negative comments because I don't like you feeling like you have control over me in any way. I'm not gonna move based on how you talk. Period. So if you like the way I dress, as much as you feel like giving me a compliment on that is gonna make me feel some type of way, like a positive, I don't want you to even do it because I don't want to open that door for you to then turn around and feel like something negative you say gonna affect me in any way either.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm a little halfway on that mark with you because I love a good compliment. Oh, you gave me a compliment. It's not going to make me jump for joy, but I'm like, okay. It just let me know that what I knew was really what I already knew. It's like, oh, I know I look good. Even if you told me I don't look good, I don't care because what you say is not going to affect me. But if I know, man, I got on this sharp suit, I look good right now, like, a couple weeks ago, I had dressed up for this homecoming, and I knew I looked good. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing. But when I got there, I got so many compliments. I'm like, well, thank you very much. Oh. It's not like it changed my whole perspective, because I knew I looked good. Like, you should already have that confidence in those things in yourself. But just like black people, lately, one of the main things I see, black people are too busy trying to fit in with everybody else. Like, we'll watch all these TV shows that perpetuate what black people are instead of you being a black person yourself. Like, right. I'm black. Whether I listen to country, whether I do this, whether I do that. Oh, I take care of my children. Oh, I do all the things I need to do because that's what I do.
I don't want people to understand that black is a people and not an action. There's nothing I can do to make me blacker.
Yeah. Like,
either I'm black or I'm not black. So don't try to, oh, if you ain't did this, you ain't black. We're not doing that. You don't get to dictate what's black because you've been out here observing us. It's like, I don't care what you saw. I, being who I am, just the color of my skin, dictate everything about black that I need to know.
Yeah.
So if you telling me the term black on black crime, well, when I look at it, I'm like, I personally have not harmed my black people, so I don't resonate with the term.
Yes.
I've seen people who are in an impoverished state do things that anybody under a stressful state would do. Yeah. Now, bringing it back to the whole relationship thing, and do I feel like the undue stress, when we talk about it, when we start to put on them layers, like there's a certain stigma when it comes to being black and in a relationship that they go like. There's this whole idea about black people being unfaithful or being untrustworthy or being angry. You got all these different types of stereotypes that the people have placed on us.
Mm-hmm.
And they neglect the fact that the environment in which those people are manifested or created is abnormal.
Yeah.
Like if you bring home the term like, angry black man. No, everybody acknowledges the fact that he's angry, but no one ever asks why is he angry. Yeah. Nobody ever try to figure out the people who crossed that man, the issues or the situations in which that man was placed in to even make him to the point where he's so volatile. Just that anything that he sees would make him upset. No one asked that question.
Well, no one asked the question: would anybody else be angry if this happened? Like, look at it like this. If you are disrespecting, most men have an issue with disrespect. Yeah. That's why we don't disrespect each other unless you know you want them issues.
Right.
Like, I would never go up to another man and be like, I could beat him up, I could do this. Oh, why? Because I'm asking for a fight. Yeah. I'm asking for issues and drama. So, but that's with anybody. So, as a black man, whether you consider me a black man, a mixed man, or whatever man, I'm still going to do the same thing. Respect. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make sure that I give you your respect, so you give me my respect. Mm-hmm. Now, if you disrespect me, yes, I will be pissed off. But wouldn't you be pissed off if someone disrespect you?
Easy.
Everybody feels that same way. So it's not angry black man.
It's just a man in a stressful situation.
Very true.
So when you go and you start talking about, financial stresses on a relationship. If your money is funny, it don't matter. You the one I'm not laughing about that.
Yeah.
So when I go home and you trying to throw money up in my face, automatically finance is stressful. Then when you try to tell me that outside issues are the reason that mine is stressful, and you try to judge me based on that, automatic, undue stress. I didn't create the circumstances in which I live. I'm not the creator, I'm the subscriber.
I agree. I just don't understand why a lot of people would take those burdens and those issues upon themselves. Like, for example, we know that there's an issue between men and women in the dating scene.
Right.
I'm glad I'm not in the dating scene. But that's in every race. Yeah. But we push this narrative about black men and black women being so at odds in that people keep coming up with all these little terms, little issues. Oh, well, black men don't do this. Well, black women don't do this. Well, black men are angry. Well, black women are loud and angry. All those kind of things. And then people start buying into it more. Mm-hmm. Just like in school, they were like, the light skin, dark skin wars and stuff like that. It's like,
it's propaganda, and you place that in there for me to be focused on that. Like that's an actual thing.
Yeah.
Like what war you gonna fight when nobody wins and no resources are gained or lost because of?
But what the hell do you care? I'm like,
it's not a thing.
Like, don't get me wrong. I've cracked jokes about light skin versus dark skin. But that's because it's a joking thing. I'm gonna be like, hey, back when we were single, you get your women like I get my women. I don't care. I'm like, it always was PGC. Players get chose.
Overall.
Like, that's the main thing.
If you got it or you don't got it.
Exactly. Simple, easy. But a lot of people nowadays are like, it's because we have this issue with light skin or we have this issue with the dark. What do I care? I love dark skinned girls. I married a dark skinned girl. I love light skinned girls. Like, I've dated more light skinned girls than dark skinned girls. But the one that I chose to give my ring to, It's a dark skinned girl. What's the issue? I've dated big girls, small girls. I've dated tall girls, short girls. I've talked to girls of different races. What do I care?
It don't matter. At the end of the day, you have to assess yourself. Am I what they looking for? And if I'm not what they looking for, can I change to be what they looking for?
Yeah.
Regardless of race, regardless of skin tone, regardless of all, that's irrelevant. So all these women were like, oh, I can't find a quality man. Well, maybe you did find a quality man.
Yeah.
But could you meet the standards set forth by that quality man? And then vice versa. Some women gonna be like, well, why can't he just reach 6 feet like I asked him to? Technically he can. Take a little surgery, but he can do it. You know? But
well, you know they got these socks now that apparently will lift your leg up 4 inches, which is crazy.
Hey,
but you should be confident in yourself.
that's what I'm saying. If I gotta keep on changing who I am to fit, no. Look, there's certain things, physical attributes about me that I'm not gonna change, and I'm not even gonna seek to change them, because if the height requirement is what's keeping me from being on that ride, it must be a reason for that.
Yes.
Because I'm not finna keep on trying to bend to your will. Either you love me or you don't. And if you don't, then it's fine. I'm not concerned. If 6 feet keeps me from a lifetime of misery because I'm not 6 feet, then I'm gonna get out your way, baby. You got it.
Yeah. You can have it.
If for some odd reason me being a black man is the reason I'm not your flavor, thank you for letting me know up front. That way I ain't gotta try to jump.
Find somebody that is my flavor.
I'm just saying, when it comes to life and my ability to play this thing called life, I'm somebody who's willing to adapt to the circumstance placed before me, right?
Agreed.
I ain't got a lot of time to try to please somebody who's not going to be pleased with me, and it's not because I'm not, like, willing to compromise or move in a way necessary to be where you want me to be. If it's something that I can't change, then I get it. You know what? I got my hard nose too.
Yeah.
Some things I'm just not gonna deal with. You're not gonna tell me that, oh, you have to, like, the steps like Superhead. She was like, I'm gonna go see Lil Wayne. If he calls me in the middle of the night and I'm laying up with my husband, I'm going to go get up and
that's crazy though.
That's a hard no. And because that's a hard no, if me and her are in the same room, I'm gonna treat you like a moment. You a good moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Experience you, sure. Will I ever say that you somebody significant in my life? Never.
Of course not. You talking about your ex-husband, your ex-man.
Yeah.
Oh, he's more valuable. He's more important.
If that's how you feel. And I get it. For whatever he did for you or whatever he did to you, cool beans. He probably put a lot of positive things in your life and you feel like there's no way that I can provide that for you. Cool. That goes back to what I said. There's one guy that you couldn't change, so you couldn't keep, and that's who you really want, but you can't have it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I'm not somebody who's going to sit back and be the guy that you go and treat bad because he exists.
All right. One thing I would tell everybody, be who you want to be. Mm-hmm. Now, who anybody puts on you to be, whether you black, white, whatever your race is, whatever, be you. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't meet strangers anywhere. I'm not quiet. I'm not the silent type. You're way more reserved and quiet than me. Me, I don't meet no stranger. But I'm not gonna be like, oh well, black people don't really talk too much. I'm like, hey, if you got good conversation, okay, I'll chop it up with you.
Right. In my work, how I see it, I'm not quiet and reserved because I'm black. I'm quiet and reserved because my life experience has led me to believe this is a better way to move.
Yeah.
Vice versa. You loud and outspoken because you found that that's how I move in this space. You played the game the way you play the game and it's brought you success. I played the game the way I play the game and it's brought me success.
Yeah.
Neither method is wrong, but neither method is black.
Yeah.
Jeremy's method is Jeremy's method.
Mm-hmm. Because what worked for me?
It works for you. My method is my method because it works for me.
Yeah.
And I just, like, I hate when people try to term it something based on, oh, I see a black person, so there must be all black people.
Mm-hmm. Because that's why now, when you hear about black people, everybody thinks they're lazy, they're ignorant, they do stupid stuff, they are not knowledgeable. When there's some educated black people that will make your head spin. There's some people out here that are making millions and not off of sports.
Not off sports.
Like, there's people out here that will touch your mind, your heart, your soul in so many different ways. There are poets out here, all these kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
That's not being black. That's just being you.
Yeah. And we got to start recognizing it. But like I said, to close out the situation, could the way the world perceives black people be adding unnecessary stress on black couples? I do believe that it can, but it's only because it's allowed.
Yeah.
So, because if you allow the perception of somebody else that's outside your relationship to dictate how you act within it, that's a problem. If I can't show up and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? When somebody be like, oh, well, she was loose back in the day. Well, I hear you, fam. In my youth, I'd be like, there might be enough reason for me to throw this cow away. However, she ain't loose with me, bruh. I don't know what you did versus what I did, but she ain't what she was when she with me.
I agree with that.
I'm not gonna hold her to it. Now, if I had I'm gonna be honest, because I'm being candid is what this show is about. Telling the truth is what we do here. So if I was in the realm of seeking a woman, and then I did run across these people who told me, nah, she a little loose, bro. That's gonna make me weary. I might be like, I'm not even gonna engage that and try to make that something prior. However, if I get with the person and I find that personality is quality and all that, I'm not here for all that. My angels ain't your angels and my demons ain't your demons. Though we do share some angels and we do share some demons.
I agree.
So, next question before we go to You Won't Believe This. Is it okay to live together before marriage? Is that, like, one more question. Do you feel like at this point in the game, is that like the standard? There's no way you're going to be able to survive in the new world without living together first?
Well, the way the economy is set up, being honest, you gonna more than likely live together.
Right.
Unless you're moving back in with your parents, you gonna live together, because right now how our economy is set up, it's gonna be hard for you to do it by yourself. The reason why we could do it now by ourselves is because we're at a state where we have jobs that actually allow us to do it by ourselves.
Yes. You got a job to pay.
I got a job to pay me more than the average salary.
Righteous.
But if you go back to $13 an hour right now, $12 an hour, $15 an hour right now,
no,
you gonna live in a nice neighborhood. It ain't even gotta be a neighborhood, a nice apartment with $15 an hour. You gonna be struggling.
You probably won't be able to do it.
You gonna either have roommates.
You will have roommates.
Yes. Or you gonna be living with somebody.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, I understand living together for financial reasons. Now, if we just shacking up kind of thing, there should be a limitation on that. Unless that's what you and the person you talking to want to do. Mm-hmm. Like, if you both like, man, we ain't really trying to do nothing new. We just gonna chill. We're gonna date. We in this together. Work it out. But if you're trying to get married, there should be a limit on how long you gonna live together.
Right. I feel, because it's a lot of people who, for the most part, they don't really like the whole institution of marriage anymore, because they like, for them and their viewpoints on it, it's more so the only difference between being married and living together is the government gets involved, right?
Yeah.
So there's people who have perfectly fine unions that don't necessarily require you to go and get the marriage certificate. So, that being said, if you ask me, do I feel you can live together and not be married? If you ask me that, I'll be like, sure. There's plenty of people who do it. There's plenty of people who going to continue to do it. You're not going to stop that, right?
Yeah.
However, if you're somebody who values the institution of marriage, I personally would prefer you be like, no, I'm going to get it to a point where there's a level of commitment and I want you to understand that I'm committed to what we do. Because that's what I feel the deem marriage is. It's like, through thick or thin, I'm riding with you.
Yeah.
And the paperwork says it to the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you get married and you like, hey, when those little small things arise, we already got this set up. And you know, I'm not going nowhere and you not going nowhere. So if I'm not going nowhere and you're not going nowhere, the fact that you put your toothbrush in my toothbrush holster is not going to deter me from being with you. But I feel like in that shack up process, if I got to a point where I'm like, look, I asked you several times to put your toothbrush in the one provided you, and you be like, no, I just like yours. And be like, see, you ain't listening.
See, but that's basically, to me, it's almost like that safety on the gun. Mm-hmm. Like, you can pull the trigger, if the safety's on, it's not going to do nothing. But if the safety's not on, it just go off.
Right.
So, like, if I'm married, there's always a safety on this trigger because I can turn it on, turn it off. If I'm not married, you know what? I just don't want to be with you,
right?
And I'm going to walk the hell out.
And that's what I feel like. Without the marriage portion, you don't have that sense of security, or you don't have any real securities to stand on. So you upset that person, then there's a higher in my viewpoint of it. I can't, because some people be like, no, I'll commit to her, I just don't commit to her on a state level. So I get it. But from where I sit, where I stand, my thought process is there's a higher commitment level or a perceived commitment level to people who say, okay, I want to do this. Everyone ain't got when they looking at us, they know when they see you, you reflect me. When they see me, I reflect you.
I agree.
And because of that, I'd be like, shacking up before, hey, it has this stigma that is also considered it's in a negative light. It's like, well, they always want to put that on, well, he can't commit to her. Granted, I feel like he can. I feel like in some ways he may have. But I'm still going to put some prestige on the title of wife. Like, hey, you reach not just the girl I'm living with title. Because it's like, effectively, you would just be roommates who sometimes sleep together. Or a lot of the time sleep together. You know what I mean? So, but if you got somebody that your roommates you always sleep with, but you never intend to marry that person, I feel like you holding their life up.
That's like, I don't know. I was thinking about this. Like, boyfriend, girlfriend. If you can't keep telling me no as my girlfriend. If you tell me no too many times, I'm just finding somebody else. Because there's nothing here that is going to make me be like, oh, yeah, I need to stay. But in a marriage, me actually being with you, us going through all these things together, we know there's no just running away. Even if I wanted to run away, I'm losing half my stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, for me to run away, I got to lose half my stuff and start trying to rebuild. If you're in a relationship, you don't lose half your stuff. You take your stuff you brought, I take my stuff I brought, we out.
Right. And for those of us who be like, hey, I don't want to always be putting up half my stuff, put half my stuff on the chopping block every time.
Yeah.
Then, they do got prenup. So don't get it confused. Like, you can still get married. Now, granted, will most women try to challenge this prenup? Yes. Okay. That's just how it works. You ain't gonna tell me that you got it and I ain't got it and you gonna keep it.
Especially if you made a bill. Okay, losing half your stuff if you only that's like you got $20 and you lose half of $20.
$10.
It's $10.
Well,
If you got 20 million, you lose half of 10 million. Like God, like
it's a bigger number.
yeah, that's way bigger. So don't get me wrong. I understand prenups are a good thing. Prenups do work for you. But don't be the measly person that's like, man, well, I got $100 in the bank. I want to get my $100 if we break up. Like, bro, your $100 ain't no money. Like real talk. $100 really don't get you the things it used to. We were talking about that earlier. You remember you used to could get a whole bunch of stuff. Well, $100?
No, you really. Remember, some people Christmas budget for the kid was $100.
Yeah.
Like you finna get, and you gonna have more than one gift under the tree.
Yeah. But now, hell, $100 right now. I can go to the store buy like 6 items, like 6 regular items.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was it? Somebody had this little thing up there. They were talking about Home Alone. It is Christmas season. They were talking about Home Alone. He got like 7 things on there. He got some Tide. He got a toothbrush. He got a couple of things. And it cost him $20.
Yeah.
But then they looked it all up on the store now. Would cost him $110 now.
Yeah. First of all, the Tide alone, he would have been like, dang, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I need some
hell, Tide alone, what the cheapest one I've seen is like maybe 18?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So that being said, when you're going back to the relationship and the shacking up, I'm gonna say it like this. For each person, you got your lane. Some, you gonna do it, but you need to know who you're doing it with. Because you get the shacking up, and some dudes gonna take advantage. Some women gonna take advantage. Yeah. If they can get everything that they want to get without putting anything on the line, they gonna do that. Or 9 times out of 10, that's just human nature.
Yeah.
So if you somebody who's strict on, I wish to be committed to you in a way that is known by everybody, and that form comes in a ring, then I would say try your absolute best, if it is at all possible, to hold off on that whole shack up, live with situation. But don't take that as me saying that people who live together prior to getting married are destined for failure or that it cannot be done. Majority of the time, we are coming from a place, especially in the black community, because like I said, situations outside our control. A lot of us gonna be living together before we end up actually being together.
Yeah.
In a marital status.
Hell, if you're in California, they say the likelihood of you living together is like a 80% chance because of the fact their cost of living is so dang high.
It's ridiculous.
It's like you can't afford to live by yourself.
At a certain point, we gotta really go and attack the real villain here. Cost of living. We gotta have a cost of living episode, like to really break that down. Cause this is where I keep telling people, this is no longer a 2-income world. Like, you stop lying.
Yeah.
You are not in a 2-income world anymore.
But when the hell did we go from 1 income? Because remember, 1950s and 60s, it was 1 income.
1 income.
At what point was it 2 income and it switched from 2 to 3, 4?
Yeah, 3, 4. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. At one point, 3 years ago, you could buy you a deep. 73 years ago, 70,000 was considered middle class.
Yeah.
Middle class right now, 120,000. That's middle class. If you wish to consider yourself the true middle class, you are pulling in 120,000. That's for you to live the way the people 3 years ago lived.
Yeah.
At 70,000.
That's crazy. I'm like, man, 100. Like, and you know they've always said, oh, that's high value. But technically, that's middle value.
No, that's just average. All that he was talking about was just average. So if you want to live an average life for the people in the 1950s, you need to be pulling 120,000. That's what So all that the high value man, he really Kevin saying just talking about the average man.
Yeah.
We just at this point we've accepted that majority of us are making it with below average income.
Yeah, well, they say most people are on dang near impoverished states.
No.
Now, again, when they say that, they're not talking about third world country poverty.
No.
Like right now, you go over Africa making the money you make right now and live comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I would make it like I was talking to one of my wife's friends because she's from Africa. I think it's Nigeria. She was like, "Oh yeah, with the money you make right now, oh yeah, you can go on over there, get you a real big, nice house, live a luxury, lavish life, and all that." But I don't live in Africa.
Right now, the other dude that be on the show, DJ, he's in Jamaica. And he said with 45,000 you can buy yourself a home.
Yeah.
And you will own the land.
Yeah. Understand, in America, you don't really own too much of nothing.
Nothing. Everything is leased. Everything is subscription based.
Even your land.
Even your land. When you go, you don't own the soil rights to that land. You know what I'm saying? The reason they don't really like you or let you bury yourself on your land is because it's not your land. You got to go to a burial site.
You lease that land.
You leasing the land. As long as you living, you can lease it. The second you die, goodbye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just, hey, it's what it is. This time around, we're going to go to You Won't Believe This. And You Won't Believe This is brought to you by.
As always, love to shout out my beautiful wife. Love you, baby. Y'all check out her different product lines. You have Yanni Like Mine, Traces Like Mine, and Wasted Desires.
Okay.
You can go wasteddesires.com. That is wasteddesires.com. They have anklets, bracelets, thigh chains, waist beads, all those things that make your body shine. Mm-hmm. Then you go to Traces Like Mine. Traces Like Mine. This is a hair care product for Black women by a Black woman to help Black people. So they do have oils and different beard oils for men. So, you know, we're all saying that they don't have a lot of things in the store. And it's crazy because I looked on the shelf and I didn't see no Sporting Wave or 360 Magic in a couple of the stores. And I was like, where the hell is all of them? But I was like, it is what it is.
You look behind the area where they got everything locked up. Because you know they got those. Mm-hmm. But also, one quick, I'm going to let you finish. You all shouting your lady.
Yeah. So, and then the last one, Yanni Like Mine. Mm-hmm. Ladies, if you don't know what your Yanni is, look it up. It does not clean itself. Also, I have to shout out my wife one more time because she and her track team are actually doing a helping the homeless today as we're doing this podcast. They are the Arlington Elite Wolves. You can look up their website. My wife actually has designed the website. If you have a child that you would like to actually learn how to do track field events and things of that nature, look them up. That's Arlington Elite Wolves.
All right. So in the past, I'm going to give my shout outs here in a second. I just got a real quick question. So in the past, I wanted the bridesmaid garter, right?
Yeah.
Because forever the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
So you know how wives get the ring?
Yeah.
Could the side chick get a bracelet? Could it be like side chick bracelets?
No, because side chicks would be like, "Oh, you see that bracelet he gave me?" Like just piss people off.
But what I'm saying is, some women just want the confirmation of knowing that they the main, so they get the ring. But it's some women who are quite okay being the side piece. And if you can find a way to identify them as that's the side, that's the main, nobody got to fight.
I'm going to be real. Because it sounds good in theory, but you're using man logic.
You're right.
There's no woman that wants to be the side.
I mean,
you can say all day, "Oh, I only want to be the side. I don't want nothing serious." But as soon as you feel in your feelings and you get a little disrespected, or it don't even have to be disrespect, but oh, she thinks she's so much better or something like that. Now you're gonna throw salt. That's that whole reason why a dude, your side dude and your main dude can help you move, and there ain't no issue because he know, hey, I'm playing my position. I know that's my main dude. I'm gonna knock her off next week, or I'm gonna knock her off tonight, or whatever. I'm playing my position.
We respect status. The thing is, men respect status.
Yes, but women do not.
Because they can only be one. They the real Hollanders. They can only be one.
Yes, it's only one. Oh, or they'll mess your stuff up just because they pissed.
They'll get you gone. So, but I feel like there's a lane for it. I might actually go through the process and make a side chick bracelets. So if you need a side chick bracelet, let me know. I can get you one. I can get them made. I'm gonna find a way.
Let's be honest, people. If you believe you could truly be a side chick, man, put a comment at the bottom.
Put a comment at the bottom and let me know.
I'll make you one.
And let me know how much to charge you for a side chick bracelet. All right. Now keep in mind, bro, I intend to make quality side chick bracelets, so don't be hitting me over the head with that because I'm gonna be like, when has a side chick ever been cheap? Personal. Outside of that, Tyler Bailey, Luxury Clothes by Luxury Guy. My cousin Mike, he does a podcast and he don't necessarily talk about topics we talk about, but he do talk about topics. So if you want to go check him out, he's Wiggle Man. That's they call him in these game spaces, and he's more so on the Twitch in that realm. So he'll play some video games. He talk about life. Go check him out. D-Mac, he's a barber. You see him, I see him, at least until I go bald, and that's in due time. However, primary people I want to shout out right now that I really care you know about. And in reality, the fact that you listening to me now lets me know that you know about them, but maybe your friend don't know about them, and that's a problem. I want you to let your friend know about these people right here, and that's us, and that is something. The number 4, DA People, and that's the podcast. If you want to type podcast when you're on YouTube, after one more time, something. The number 4, DA People. If you want to type podcast and minimize those search results on your Google, not on your Google, but your YouTube platforms, then that's going to minimize those search results, bring us up a whole lot quicker, and I'm sure your friends will find benefit in the information that you gave them and take that advice. So, seek us out on YouTube. Find us on Facebook. We on Instagram. We on TikTok. And if the term podcast comes up in any form or fashion on your cellular device, on your radio, whatever it's at, if it say podcast, we there. Okay? Cool beans. And also there's a application called Fanbase. We on there, but I'm going to be honest, I personally haven't did the upkeep on Fanbase. So if you on Fanbase and you feel neglected, I personally apologize. Okay? But I'm gonna try my best to get that information, get that back going. But where I prefer you go is to YouTube, Spotify's, and the podcast places. And like I said, if you go on the Facebooks and the Instagrams, it's a culture, it's a community over there that you can be a part of. And I would hope that whatever community you want your friends to be on. So one more time, and it's only for the people in the back because I know the front got it. Something, the number 4, DA People podcast if you're on YouTube.
Like, subscribe, share.
Please 5-star ratings, okay? Comments, we take them however they come. Positive, negative, I ain't concerned. But if you're going to leave a rating, we prefer 5. Okay? 5. Done deal. Cool beans. So you won't believe this. Twitch star is making beer from her own vaginal yeast. What they do is she had to go get a pap smear. They scrape the side of them walls, and they let you know up front that they did clean the yeast. They cleaned it. Okay, they cleaned the vaginal bacteria or whatever. Because regardless, they cleaned it, and because they cleaned it. All right, and I hate to say bacteria, because bacteria has like a negative thought process. I'm sure, hopefully, her vagina is clean. Whatever. Or if not, this is a prime spot to tag. Y'all ain't like mine, okay? It's not. I care this, beer company goes back and talks to his wife and figures that out. But they take that They incubate and they grow the yeast, and then they put that into their beers, okay? And those beers, they want you to know that they believe is pleasure in every sip. She says that her vaginal secretions or the biome that's created from her bacterial yeast should give it a creamy and sweet taste to the beer. That's her beliefs. All right. So how you feel about this?
You know what? I blame guys. I just blame guys. When did we become this nasty? Because don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I don't mind oral sex. I would have said the other word, but I'm trying to be a little more PC. But I don't mind it. But when the hell did we get to a point where we just randomly a beer, like a beer full of coochie? So we got coochie beer now because somebody over here like, oh, I bet some dude will drink it, and there'll be a dude nasty enough to be like, you know what? You tried that coochie beer, bro? Man, I bet it tastes just like us guys need to we got problems.
You gotta wake up, bro.
We got this issue of being sick for no reason. I'm like, what?
Don't even make sense.
I'm like, bro, it's like there's the stanky girl. Like everybody everybody knew one girl that was stanky.
Just
like you knew she stunk.
Yep.
She wasn't like, oh, it was just a stench. No, she stank.
That's what you smell like.
But there was some dude that's like, I'll take her.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I'm not understanding. It is women that would be dirty as hell after the club, and this is no shot at women. But you know, after the club, y'all be sweating. Some women would sweat out their weaves, all that kind of stuff. Would be a dude, you're like, nah, I like you just the way you are.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when did we become this nasty? Like, now you got beer? A beer.
What goes through the mind of a person that is that egotistical and self-centered? Like, don't get me wrong, for her, I get it. You know what I'm saying? She I'm sure because she got 6.5 million fans on either, I think it's Twitter or TikTok, one up.
Okay.
So there is a market because there's some dudes who just thirsting over that and really want that from her, right? But how much of an echo chamber has social media become to where that's even a viable product? Like they got let's because we got to run the gauntlet, bro. There's testicle chips. There's chips that taste like nuts, right? And now there's vaginal beer. The bedroom, when it comes down to it, people are no longer being voyeurs and just looking in. Okay, they are going so far as I want the taste, I want the smells, because woman was farting in jars before she started the beer.
I was just about to say that. I'm like, what the? When did? Okay. I guess I have an issue with this. I'm not germaphobe, but there's certain things I just don't want. It's like, don't get me wrong. Do I love a good tasting vagina? Why, yes, I do. I'm just keeping 100. Now, am I going to sit here and say, man, I need a beer flavor? No, we're going too far. We're going to fart in a jar and hold up. Like the one woman that was selling the panties, like she would keep them on for weeks at a time, so get the odor out all extra. I'm like, when did we get this nasty?
I'm telling you, I feel like you saying when did we get this nasty? One, I'm gonna separate myself from the we because I want none of these products. Outside of that, I'm just keeping it real. Outside of that, I feel like the term that you're looking for, and which is good classify, separates you from that. When did men who prefer these products become so deprived?
Okay, we go that way.
Because that's the truth. When did you get to a point where I feel like you are not receiving these things, or when did you become so desensitized to your actual life to where you have to go and seek fulfillment or these items from outside people?
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I see how OnlyFans makes so much money. You over here paying this woman's bills, not knocking any woman that does OnlyFans. I can respect y'all for it. I can't respect the dudes.
Like, what I'm saying, like,
the dudes just be over here paying all this money.
Part of me, I can't get upset at none of the OnlyFans women, because if there's a market, there should be a supply. If there's a demand, there should be a supply. So if I'm sure that the demand was high, so they met and rose to the occasion to meet that demand. The reason I'm sure you don't see as many men on OnlyFans as far as the actors or the people putting on the show, is because the value on penis is low. Like,
that's because every value will give it to you without issue.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Dirt.
It's like, oh, she looked at me. It's like, when did us as men not control our own value? It's like, for me, there's certain things I'm not going to stoop myself to. I don't pay for stuff I get for free.
Righteous.
And I'm like, the main thing I see right now is I see a lot of desperate men out here. I respect the women. Get your hustle
how you
on.
live.
Make your money. But I'm like, as a man, I'm like, you over here paying for dirty underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty underwear.
Yeah.
I'm like, you over here paying for fart in a jar. You over here doing all this. Like, bro, where did this come from? I'm like, were dudes always this dirty?
No. I'm telling, don't get me wrong, there's always been outliers to every group, right? So there's always been somebody who been that nasty, but we used to be able to identify and be like, oh, that's that nasty dog. You nasty, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we all had that one homeboy who gonna go home, not with the 5. Because most people, we respect the 5. I ain't got no issue with the 5. Like, you know, live your life, baby. You know what I'm saying? Do you? But that one dude who took home that certified 1, like, she been on 1. She really shouldn't have came out tonight. She don't have the dress. She didn't have none of the stuff necessary to pull a guy tonight. She just was off game. And it's always a guy who like, I'm gonna still take her though. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, I remember back in the day when growing up, like, you hear about the BDSM and the dudes getting the dominatrix be beating the brakes off of
Kicking them in the nuts.
Kicking them in the nuts and stuff. I'm like, God, you paying somebody
I just want to feel dominated.
But I think this is worse than that.
Oh, this is definitely worse than that.
Like, you're not getting paid for somebody to dominate you. You getting paid, you paying someone to sniff their dirty underwear.
What you understand? I don't know. Now there's one that I'm even more appalled at. There's this thing, like, it's a financial dominatrix. Like, so you make all your money. Then the dude that I saw online that had this, I think it was even on TV.
I heard this.
He would send a woman that wasn't his wife all his money, and then that woman would then take the money and take a portion of the money and give it back to him, and like, this is what you need to live on.
I heard.
And he just wanted to sacrifice that level of power to that woman, but that was his kink. And I was like, so you can talk your. I don't think there's any woman who reaches wife status who wouldn't prefer that setup. Yeah. So like, here I went to work. Here's my check. You know what I'm saying? How much you want to give me back? I'm telling you, if you gave any woman that level of control, you could find that dominatrix in your house.
But it's just getting weird. Like Jesus needs to go and come back, because I'm like, no. I'm just saying, there's only so far we can go with this. It's like, bro, you sniffing farts.
But I'm telling you, we ain't even reached the tip of the iceberg. According to the book, you seen the book, you seen Revelation. You know they say it gets a lot worse than this. We ain't even touched it yet, and it's bad.
Yeah,
we ain't even touched it yet, and it's bad.
I just don't understand it, because,
like, but think,
like,
bro,
as people, you should have a standard,
bro,
some type of standard.
This is what's going on now,
bro. I'd rather you just go and pay for a prostitute.
But that's what I'm saying. Prostitutes had their place, because some dudes is gonna be like, I need to feel it for real. Like, I'm sure if you wanted some draws that's been messed over quite some time, go tell the prostitute start selling her draws. You're gonna be like, I didn't know that it could get like this. I didn't know.
I'm just like, when did you get these fetishes? Like, when did us men get to a point where it's like,
but everything. That's why I'm a firm believer in. Like, I'm not gonna say gateway drugs, but I do believe in gateway fetishes. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, everybody looking for the pretty feet pics, but there's some guy out there who just really wants some ugly feet. Then that gets blown out of proportion and goes further. Then it's looking for people with, you know, marred feet, black feet, frostbitten feet, no feet. Then it just keeps growing. Everything you throw out grows. That's what life does. Every seed you plant grows into a tree. Not every seed you plant. Let me take that back, because people could turn it away. But if you keep planting this seed, eventually it's gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? Something gonna grow from it.
yeah,
When it came to the music, hip hop started off as something positive, and then all it took was that one rapper to take the wrong turn, and now we got what we listen to now. So when it comes to the fetishes of the set, all it took was one person to be immoral about it or take it too far.
It just seems like now it's like, how can I trump the next person and being nasty? Like, okay, I remember growing up when they were talking about having oral sex. Oh, you wild for having oral sex. And I was like, no, they just called you being mature. But then I'm like, okay. Then people got to that level. I'm like, okay, cool. Then it went to the whole BDSM kind of thing. I'm like, I guess if that's your fetish, I don't want nobody to beat the brakes off me. I'm like, that's not where I get my enjoyment from. But then it went to the eating booty. And it was like, oh, we don't just give head no more. Oh, we eating booty. It was like, okay.
So, game one up.
Then it went to the whole, oh, we peeing on each other and all this. And
Did you hear, what was it? I forgot the girl. Was it Young Miami? It was somebody. She was like, how much?
It was Sukiana.
Yeah, to poop on your chest.
Yes, I'm like,
wait, what? Like this was good. I have you know that, like, this was stuff we used to make jokes about back in the day. Like, we was giving it turns, but it wasn't. At least from what I believe, because I was young then, I didn't think this was real. Like, this is the equivalent of Santa Claus. Like, I know this is fake. This got to be fake. This not real. Because nobody's gonna willingly just let somebody poop on them. Like, that's disrespectful. But I also was under the impression that nobody was just gonna outright let somebody pee on them. Then R. Kelly showed me something totally different. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know where we at with.
Like, this world is bad. Like, I'm like, ugh. And I gotta raise my kids in this. It's like, ugh. Like, you ever get that feeling like you just feel unclean, dirty and stuff? Like,
just feel like you need to wash up after every conversation. Like, but part of me, what it all boils down to, bruh, would it all be falling back to shock value? I mean, how did you know this was going?
I don't know. I was trying to just thinking about. It's like, maybe you just like, oh, I gotta be the next one.
I gotta be the top. I gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when Kevin Gates was coming out, people was trying to bash him for talking about eating, but now every rapper out there, well, not every rapper, but large portion of the rappers that are new school, we talk about. See? That's they love.
But Kevin Gates was saying that, and a lot of people were like, But you know the song that actually set it off, that supposed to be, whatchamacallit?
Omarion.
Omarion, yes. When old girl was like, I let him eat my booty like groceries. Yeah. And now everybody.
Because what it took was, it's like, we just talked about the market value for guys, right? And it's like, your market value low because your standards are low. Like, cool. But then when you get that woman who looked the way she looked telling you that this is something I'm seeking. Yeah. Now it's like, oh, well, shoot, if I want to get a woman like that, well, now I need to lower my bar. Now eating booty ain't off the table.
I don't know what's lower than this. You getting peed, pooped on.
I still feel like that financial thing is absurd to me. Like I'm supposed to.
Well, yeah.
Financial dominatrix. I'm like, nigga, y'all just created something. Like you didn't. This was not a fetish. You just made some stuff up, and you want to see how many people you can fool with this. Nah, I hope that's fake. I hope that's fake.
I hope it is too, but I've heard some things, and I'm like, this is stupid. Like. And there's no, don't knock no one's kink and stuff. I'm like, nah, sometimes you gotta knock somebody's kinks. It's like, what the hell is this?
I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm not gonna knock your kink, but I will knock you getting flat out like conned.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, I'm gonna knock you getting conned in reference to like if they just take your money and that's the kink. That's what gets you off sexually. Somebody robbing you, dog. Go to the hood and just flash your money all day.
Yeah. Oh, hey, get that taken care of.
Taken care of real quick. Or if you just need to eat butt or taste poop like horses poop outside all day, become a horse trainer. Nobody.
You know what? And I'm gonna just leave it.
I'm done with it.
It's gotten so bad that we paying for people's bidets. If you do not know what bidet is, that's the thing that back in the day rich people had, where it spray water and everything on your genitals to clean them up. Beyonce and Jay-Z sold a bidet for like $8,000, and somebody bought a bidet for $8,000. So where they clean themselves up, you pay $8,000 for it,
bro. This has been another episode of Something for the People. I don't know.
Y'all be easy.